Hi there, and welcome to this week's vlog. And I want to begin by asking you a question. And the question is this: what does it mean, at the heart of it, to be a follower or a disciple of Jesus? Perhaps if somebody asked you to explain what it is, what's the heart of being a disciple of Jesus? And just to make the question a little bit perhaps more complicated, I want you to use not more than 5 words. So how would you express in not more than 5 words what it is to be a disciple, a follower of Jesus? Perhaps you want to think about that. You might even want to pause this video for a minute or so and just think about that. And I'm going to come tell you in a minute what my answer would be. Or it's not necessarily the answer, but it's an answer. And I mention that because last Sunday I was speaking in our church, and I asked that very question. And the reason that question came to mind was because I've been looking at the passage for the day from the 2nd chapter of John's Gospel, the famous story of the wedding at Cana in Galilee, where Jesus miraculously turns the water into wine. Jesus and his disciples are at the wedding. His mother Mary is at the wedding, and in those days, often the whole village would be present there. It's quite possible that Mary was part of the preparation, the celebration. But anyway, the problem was, I should have said that again, weddings in those days were not just on a particular day, but often go on for perhaps a week, several days at least. And there's a big problem because they ran out of wine, and it was the responsibility of the parents of the bride and groom to provide the food and drink for the wedding. So if there was no more wine, that would look very badly on them, that they would be dishonoured in the eyes of the people. So Mary is aware of this, and she thinks to herself, I'm going to share this problem with Jesus. So she turns to Jesus and says, they've run out of wine. And interestingly, this is what Jesus responds. It may seem a bit of a strange response initially. He says, woman, why do you involve me? My hour has not yet come. So Jesus, on the face of it, seems a little bit reluctant to respond to the issue that Mary has brought to him. I don't want to go into a long explanation of what that's about, but what happens next is very, very interesting. Mary doesn't take that as a rebuff. She simply turns to the servants and says this: do whatever he tells you. Do whatever he tells you. And Jesus then says to the servants, go and fill those stone water jars. And the servants are obedient to him. They fill them to the brim. And then Jesus says, take what's in there now, a sample to the master of ceremonies. And they do it. And he takes a drink. He says, wow, this is amazing. You've saved the best wine till last. A miracle has taken place. John describes it as Jesus' first miracle, the first of the signs in his gospel. And if you read through John's gospel, there are 7 signs, 7 miraculous events that take place that John says are a sign of who Jesus is. He really is God's Son, Messiah. And the bit that I want to pick out in terms of answering this question, what does it mean to be a disciple of Jesus, is where Mary says to the servants, do whatever he tells you. And as I was pondering this in preparation for the service, my mind went back quite a few years now to a T-shirt that I designed and had printed with one possible answer, my answer to what it is to be a disciple of Jesus. And I thought, I haven't seen that for years. Anyway, I went searching and I found it, lo and behold. So I actually wore it on Sunday and showed it to the folk at church, and I've got it with me now. So I'm going to show you, if you can read that. It says, the Jesus way stay close, listen, do it. The Jesus way. Stay close, listen, do it. So Jesus, when he called his disciples, he said, follow me. And in another place he says, come unto me. So he wants us to come near to him in faith, to respond to his call on our lives. He invites us into a relationship with him. So stay close, listen. We listen to what he says as we become attuned into God's Spirit speaking to us. So stay close, listen, and then do it. Listen to what he says and do it. Jesus says, if you love me, you will obey my commandments. So a sign of our discipleship, our response to Jesus is that we stay close to him, we listen to what he says, and then we're obedient. We do it. So I don't know what you come up with, but that's one suggestion. That's my suggestion. Stay close, listen, and do it. It's not as easy as it may seem, but that is my goal, and I hope that it's yours too. Stay close to Jesus, to listen to what he says, and then act in faith, to step out of the boat, to do it, to do what he says, even if it doesn't seem logical sometimes or maybe a bit scary. So let's seek to stay close to Jesus, to listen to what he says, and then do it. That's the thought for the day, or for the week, indeed. So, as always, thank you so much for listening. God bless you.